by the look of it. So the Australians have taken the bull by the horns, and I've got a feeling that Scott McTaggart will have a good look as they come a bit closer. You can see parts of the course are very narrow, and it's a matter of using the elbows and just bulldozing your way through. Across Pallister Street goes the Australian. There is Jonathan Wyatt in his customary forward lean, wide elbow stance, so he's moved through into first place. Heading along Alexandra Street now they come, and Jonathan Wyatt, the four-time world champion mountain runner, out in the front now. Jonathan Wyatt in command as he works his way up towards the summit here at the top end of the course. I talked to him before the race and I said, what would be the decision with regards to shoes, to footwear? He said he wasn't sure. He said if it rained, he would pretty much run in specified trail mountain running shoes, and that's what he's gone with. A lot of the other athletes will be running in racing flats, and racing flats, for those that don't know, are essentially a stripped down and less biomechanically friendly pair of shoes than what the average runner would run, say, day to day. Wyatt in command of this one. Here is the chasing group. Let's see if we can pick out some of the favourites for you. But Jonathan Wyatt has got them shot to pieces. The senior men's race is 3 laps, remember. And another thing he said to us at the press conference was he thought that a lot of people would be hurting by lap number 3. And it's very uncharacteristic to see Jonathan Wyatt being a front runner like this. And he has already put the best part of 30 seconds on his nearest competitor. So this is an amazing performance from Jonathan Wyatt. Plenty of hometown support for the man from Valleys United, a club he has run with for years and years and years, got involved in running, got interested in running through his father. The whole family involved in athletics, and it's interesting to note that his older brother Andrew was second in the citizens race they had before the elite mountain running athletes took to the start line. Jonathan Wyatt in command, number 149 from Italy. This is Marco Giardio. There is the Australian still hanging tough. Another one of the Italians in there, and that is David Chico. And the Italians have owned the team's race in the senior men virtually since the inception of the World Mountain Running Trophy some 25 years ago. Another one of the New Zealanders, that is Dale Warrender, the Olympian over the marathon distance, New Zealand champion over cross-country road. But Jonathan Wyatt, just the free-flowing style of the world champion heading down onto the seal now. This is the battle for the minor placings for the moment. Second and third by the look of it as they work their way up into the steep climb once again. Meantime, speaking of steep climbs, more climbs here for the Italians. Maybe the Italians starting to make a little bit of a move here. There is Jonathan Wyatt making his way up towards the summit at the start of his second lap. Remember, 3 laps for the elite men. Jonathan Wyatt leaning into the hill there, working hard. This very versatile athlete spends a lot of his year these days in Austria, based there for the Mountain Running Grand Prix and the Mountain Running Trophy circuit. But an accomplished athlete from the 1500 metres right through to the marathon, where he's represented New Zealand at Commonwealth Games and Olympic level. Up on his toes in his specially built Innovate shoes. Jonathan Wyatt from New Zealand, trained and grew up just here running on the trails of Mount Victoria. An architect by profession. As we said, for about 8 months of the year he is an elite mountain runner. This is the man that's moved through into second place now, and it's one of the Italians. And there is the second of the Italians, so they're starting to get a formation going together now. The Italians, as we told you, have owned the team's trophy virtually since the inception of the World Mountain Running Trophy in 1985. It's a sport that is concentrated in Europe. Not too many of the African countries taking part, but last year Eritrea came and conquered. This year it might be the turn of this man, Jonathan Wyatt. He's won the World Trophy 4 times in the past, but on each occasion it has been on an uphill course. Here in Wellington, up and down Mount Victoria, it is classed as an up and a down course. They alternate year in and year out, and Jonathan Wyatt has extended his lead to well over a minute now, so he is in absolute command of this elite class of men for the World Mountain Running Trophy for 2005. There is the second place man, and I've got a feeling this is Gabriel Abate from Italy. number 149. This is Marco Giardio through in third place. So the Italians stacking the minor placings there. Just got a glimpse of Dale Warrender in the visor. A sub 2:15 marathoner, Callum Harland, the other member of the New Zealand team. We keep an eye out for Mike Wakeland, the Wellington scientist, running as better as anyone has ever seen him, so he'll be putting in good performance as well. There he is there, talk of the devil, and there is the final member of the New Zealand team, and that is Ben Revell, the 23-year-old. They're all trying to keep this man in their sights, and at the moment, no one can do it. Jonathan Wyatt, I saw him win a New Zealand Road Racing Championships in 1995 in Auckland, and it was one of the few times I'd seen him go from the front. He went from the front that day and ran around 28 minutes. His closest competition was well over the 29-minute mark, and it looks like that's what he's doing here at the moment. I would expect these runners to finish this 13.3 kilometre journey in around about the hour, and at this stage it looks like Jonathan Wyatt is going to be the first of them. Number 147, David Chico from Italy with the headband. The Italian squad missing their number one runner through injury, but they have still got a very formidable team. Most of the athletes, the overseas athletes, have been in Wellington and training on the course and in around Wellington for the best part of a week. There is Callum Harland. Callum was the New Zealand mountain running champion 2 seasons ago. And right in behind him, Dale Warrender. Now, Dale Warrender has started slow and he's built into it. A lot of people said to us that they thought Dale Warrender may be the weak link in the chain, but he's been a very good athlete from about the age of 14, originally coming from Waiheke. And he has shown that he is accomplished in any distance, on any terrain, and he is putting on a great performance here, and he would be the second New Zealander at the moment. Wyatt in the front, Italy through in second place. Last time we saw it was Giardio. And there another graphic example of this brutal climb up Hay Street. And then on to the dirt trails, and it doesn't get any easier. This is second and third, coming into shot now. 2 of the Italians as Jonathan Wyatt, nothing but clear trail in front of him. There is Dale Warrender. Come on, Dale. Stick it in, Dale. Go. Looking to compete in a marathon later on this season and maybe put together a qualifying time for next year's Commonwealth Games in Melbourne. Jonathan Wyatt also looking to contest the marathon once again. There is Mike Wakeland, another one of the local Wellingtonian runners. And really, I think with the success of this amazing championship here, not only Arthur Clapp should take a bow, but so too should be the running community of Wellington, the likes of Barry Prosser, his sons, his wife, all the people that really started to push for this bid many, many years ago. This bid 10 years in the making. And finally, we have the creme de la creme of mountain running here. There is another one of the New Zealand team. This is Phil Costley from Canterbury these days. Won over 28 national titles. Right in behind him is Ben Revell. Phil Costley has finished as high as 4th in past mountain running trophy races, I think back in 2000. This man, though, has finished first on 4 occasions, but each of those occasions, it was on an uphill course. This is an up and down course. But maybe the result will be the same. Jonathan Wyatt in complete control here. Running oh so relaxed, still up on his toes as he begins this brutal climb to the very top. Here's the battle for second and third, and it's between teammates. It's Gabriel Abate and David Chico, I beg his pardon. But it is Wyatt at the front. I think we may even have an Italian in third place now. Number 190 on your screen there is Sebastian Epinay from Switzerland. So he would be back in 4th or 5th place at the moment. So the field's strung out by the pace that this man is setting. Well, it looks like a change for second and third for Italy. It looks like Chico has gone ahead of Abate. But remember, this is a long race. In the junior races, it was 2 laps at the best. For the senior men, it is 3 laps. And it is a torturous course. Dale Warrender, second of the New Zealanders for the moment. And I'll be picking it'll be Mike Wakeland coming through in third for the New Zealanders, and then possibly Phil Costley. But no doubt about the leading New Zealander, because he's leading this whole field. 110 runners towed the line for the start of the elite men's race. Jonathan Wyatt was content to follow for about the first 500 or 600 metres, but from then on it's been nothing but the black singlet of Jonathan Wyatt. This is the battle for second, third and fourth, and it's an all-way Italian battle. Wyatt flying downhill once again. And listen to the cheers as the road is absolutely lined by very partisan spectators. They all wanted a Wellingtonian to win. We've got the senior women's race to come, and there's every chance that we'll get a win in that one as well, with the likes of two-time world champion Melissa Moon. Jonathan Wyatt salutes the crowd as he works his way down towards the finish line now, and he's the best part of 2 minutes ahead of his nearest competitor. Jonathan Wyatt, the architect from Wellington, trained on this course from a very young age and has come through as a 5-time world champion in front of his home crowd. Jonathan Wyatt receiving the plaudits from his coach and his supporters. This is the battle for second and third, and it's Italy going to fill the places. It's going to be Abate from David Chico. So Gabriele Abate goes through in second place, number 146, and in third place it will be the headband wearing David Chico. Italy second and third. Who will come down the finish chute next? Looks like another Italian athlete coming through. There is Dale Warrender, the second of the New Zealanders. So it looks like Jonathan Wyatt has carried the day. It's the Italians in second, third and fourth. They'll win the teams from New Zealand. It was written all over your face as you came through to the finish. This one was special, wasn't it?
Oh, absolutely. You know, it's just that support out there was amazing. I was getting time gaps the whole way around, so I had to be really, really careful on the second lap not to go not to go into oxygen debt. And you know, I was really surprised and really happy just to build up a lead early on. It was fantastic.
Was there any stage he thought he could catch Jonathan?
C'è qualcuno che ha tentato di raggiungere Jonathan?
Io non l'ho mai visto, Jonathan.
No, never everybody. It's too strong for everybody.
Well, I've just seen a fantastic performance from Kiwi Jonathan Wyatt. Coming up after the break, maybe the icing on the cake, it's the senior women's race. We're down to the final race in the 2005 World Mountain Running Trophy here in Wellington, and it is the elite women. And if New Zealand's elite women's team need any inspiration, they only have to look at Jonathan Wyatt, now a 5-time world champion when he absolutely outdistanced the field in the elite men. To catch up with the New Zealand team, we talked to them before the race.
I've always had that advantage over my competitors in the cross-country races, so I thought I might as well give the mountain champs a go this year and see how I go, basically.
The only slight variation with mountain running is that you carry on doing that normal endurance training, which will suit any aspect of cross-country, you know, even track really. It's just changing 1 or 2 sessions a week.
The single file tracks.
Well, if ever there was inspiration needed for the elite women's field from the New Zealand perspective, they got it with the performance of Jonathan Wyatt and the New Zealand team second in the elite men's field. This is the final race of the day of the 2005 World Mountain Running Trophy, brought to you by the New Zealand Community Trust, and it is the elite women away, and the best of the Kiwis at the moment is the tall figure of Kate McElroy, sitting in about 4th or 5th spot. Right on her shoulder was 2-time world champion, and that was Melissa Moon, also of New Zealand. Now it hasn't taken long for Kate McElroy to head toward the front. Talking to her at the press conference on Friday, she said that if she felt good, she would go for it. That is exactly what she is doing. It's a Lithuanian athlete sitting on her shoulder at the moment, Melissa Moon right there as well. So to number 27, and that was Anja Carlsen from Germany. So 4 athletes to score for the team's competition. Last year's defending champion not in the field. That was the Italian Rosita Rota Gelpi. She hasn't made the Italian team this time, but there is a very, very strong Italian contingent, and last year's second place runner Anna Petrova from the Czech Republic, tipped by many to be a favourite here, but it is a New Zealander that's upset the apple cart, and they're running first and second at the moment. It is Kate McElroy, the 24-year-old student from Wellington, out in the front, and it is the multi-cross-country champion of New Zealand, representative at the World Cross Country, representative at the New Zealand University Games, and two-time World Mountain Running champion Melissa Moon sitting in second place. So a great day continues here on the Wellington waterfront for the New Zealanders. Kate McElroy pouring on the pressure here, and the gap continues to widen between herself and Melissa Moon. An amazing thing to run in front of a home crowd, certainly one as supportive as the one here in Wellington, lining both sides of the street at the finish area, 4 and 5 deep in places, and still lining the course as they work to the highest part of it. Melissa Moon just feeling the pinch a little bit there and just dropping down through the field. Watch too for the runners from England and also from Scotland. There is Melissa. Had been hampered in the build-up a little bit by illness and injury. No problems at all though for Kate McElroy. She's had the season to die for this year. She's won the long and the short course cross country. She's in the best shape of her life. I was talking to her coach, John Bowden, no mean athlete himself in his day, and he said that it was with Kate, it was all about the culture of winning. He had a talk with New Zealand athletics great John Walker, and John Walker impressed upon John Bowden that what it was all about. Get into her head and she'll be unbeatable, and that's what we're seeing here. Another local Wellingtonian, and just about a stumble as she gets to the very highest point in the course. Another one that's trained on this course since she was just an infant. A lady with a lifelong interest in athletics, and the same can be said about Melissa Moon. What a servant she's been to New Zealand athletics, both on and off the track. Competed in every distance from the 1500 metres right through to the marathon with a fair amount of success in all, but it's cross country and latterly mountain running that has been her specialty. She is a two-time World Mountain Running Trophy champion. Well, you can see it gets a little bit willing in the tight sections there as these athletes battle for position. The Italians once again running as a team back in through about 8th or 9th place, but this young lady is well and truly in command at the moment. Number 35 on your screen is Bancianelli from Italy. Good contingent of Australian in the field, including the ageless Jackie Fairweather. Most people will know as Jackie Gallagher, multi-time triathlon and duathlon champion of the world, and also a medalist in the Commonwealth Games over the marathon distance. Probably last seen in New Zealand as the coach of the Australian Institute of Sport team for the Queenstown Triathlon, and by a coincidence that event also organised by Arthur Clapp, the man behind this very successful mountain running trophy race here in Wellington. Melissa Moon, well, the pace is starting to tell a little bit and she's starting to just slip down through the field. But as Melissa starts to slip back, Kate McElroy increases her lead in a very Jonathan Wyatt-esque performance. It just continues to grow and grow and grow. 2 laps for the elite women. Melissa Moon, you can see the strain on her face as she grits her teeth.